MongooseJake here to go over my updates to my, we're going to call it Project Ledge. Take a page right out of Kev Central's book. But we're going to look at this ledge and what changes I've made to it since you last seen it. Now, some viewers who've kept up, they're going to know that already I have changed the crankset. We now have the Shimano Qs. I showed this already in a video where I had talked about how a lot of bike manufacturers kind of cheap out on the bottom bracket and the crankset. Even if they do put a known brand of crankset, they'll go with a super cheap bottom bracket, and you'll have to replace that pretty quick. Well, I wanted to just complete the whole Shimano Qs because over here we've got the derailleur, chain, and cassette, and shifter, of course, and I wanted to test it. Here later in the season, I'll give the whole Qs. Now this is the same rear derailleur as what came on the Slalom, the Ozark Trail FS.2 Slalom, and there's a reason. I wanted to run this bike as similarly built as possible to the Slalom when I was doing a comparison back and back. And that comparison's not done. There will be a final stage of the Ledge versus a final stage of the Slalom, and I'll give my opinions on the differences of the bikes after riding it towards the end of the season. But that's again another video. But again, we're keeping the Shimano Qs. This is actually a pretty nice crankset so far. I got it off AliExpress, and they offered a different chain ring. This is a special one. It's a machined aluminum. This is not the Qs chain ring. And as you can see there, it is a 34 tooth, so it's a little bit higher gearing, which I liked because I am more of a power pedaler than a spinner. So this gives me a little more upper end range. And this actually has the tighter ratio. This is a 36 tooth big ring here, so it's a little bit tighter ratio. I like it. It actually shifts a little crisper versus the Slalom's wide range, and I like that. It's a very good shifting setup for how cheap it is, because of course I bought this off of AliExpress. The whole kit was like $67, and then the crankset was only like $60 or 50 something. So very good budget drivetrain. Very good. This has seen a lot of riding already, and it is very good. Now, I did a couple little touch-ups. Get my orange, gotta get the orange on there. Gotta get some sprucing up. But I also swapped out the stock rear tire, which of course was the same tread pattern as this. These are as off-brand can get. But these are 29 by 2.25s. But I put a Maxxis Pace on the rear. As you can see there, a Maxxis Pace, a 2.1. Because this is not a big hit hardcore trail bike. This is a single track cruiser. That's what I'm doing. I am doing a little bit of downhills. My last ride was Sunday. I'm recording this here on Wednesday, and my last ride was Sunday evening, and I put in a good about 10 or 12 miles of trail riding, and I hit everything from, with what you see, I hit everything from about 1.5 miles of green, about 1.5 miles of black, and the rest, it was about 11 miles in total. So the remaining 8 miles was all blue trails. And very fun. Very fun. I actually use this as a test bed to put some different camera angles, and I finally got a mount to where I can record the fork, because the Bucklos XM fork, of course, I just recorded a specific review for it. But I'm going to honestly say I'm getting more and more impressed by Bucklos parts. I absolutely love these Bucklos grips I put on, and I have to give a shout out to Mongoose. One of the only things that's still stock is the saddle. That thing is as comfortable as my WTB saddles are. I'm loving that seat. That probably will stay on permanently. Probably the seat post as well. And so far the wheels, 0 issues. So this is just kind of an update to the Mongoose Ledge build. I've changed out rear tire, added the cranks, added a few little bits and pieces to dress it up a little more, and it is riding wonderfully. I do have to end the video with one detractor. The Maroka rear shock. We're just going to call it air can. That's all it is. It's just an air can. This is it. You can add air. And I'm going to turn that just me wanting to have the label up. It's still sealed. It's got an O-ring there. But this shock, if you want to call it that, it's got only oil it has is a little bit of lubrication. I actually took it apart to check because it has very, very little dampening. It's basically just an air can, and that's it. So this one will be going. I'm actually thinking of putting a Sun Tour on the back here because I absolutely love Sun Tour products. And I will probably go with the Sun Tour in place of this. And that'll just be later in the riding season. This is good enough for now. It has so little dampening that it makes the rear end, it's not as bad as the stock Pogo spring, but its dampening is so light that it's barely as if it has any. That's my one regret so far. But other than that, everything has held up well. Everything is doing well. The Bucklos parts, headset, bar, stem, fork, pedals, they're all doing perfectly fine. The Shimano Q's drivetrain holding up great. The Maxxis Pace was a good choice. Very similar to a, like say, a Kenda Small Block 8 or a WTB Nano in that it's a very fast rolling but pretty grippy over hardback. But all kinds of little tiny knobs. But hopefully you enjoyed this little look at the state of the Ledge. That'd be a good title. But it's just going to be a Ledge update video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching.